We can't just like start because we have different microphones. We need to wait for both of us to be seated.
I need to be here now.
Our hands are free.
Oh my God.
We can gesticulate. We can touch each other.
Well, we don't need to touch each other. Let's be serious.
What if there's a moment where like we need to hug? Like what if I get really emotional and I start to cry?
You can
and
hug
like
yourself.
You can hug me.
I feel like babies learn to self-soothe early, and I think that'd be good for you.
I think about the number. I can count the number of times you've hugged me on one hand. The day my grandfather died.
I did hug you then.
The day someone broke up with me. And another time.
Which one? The recent one?
The recent.
Okay.
Yes.
You were not.
And another time you hugged me.
All right.
Yeah.
That's great. I mean, it's not. Well, I mean, this is both ways. It's not like you've hugged me more often.
But I've wanted to, baby.
Well, sweetie, it hasn't happened, so it doesn't count. Almost doesn't count, as Brandy told us back in the day. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Two Gay Matts podcast. It's Matt Palmer.
And it's Matt Steele.
And welcome back another week.
Another week.
The Oscars still haven't happened somehow.
They still haven't happened. Everyone on film Twitter is so exhausted. They're just like, this needs to end now because just the discourse surrounding every single solitary possible topic you can possibly discuss has just become so exhausting. We all want to die. But you know what? We only have one more week to go. It's coming.
That's the thing. And the thing is, I mean, we'll get into it, I think, but I feel like every week there's some little new thing about the Oscars that upsets people or makes people happy or like, I don't know.
Confuses people.
I do. Just to quote Keisha Cole, I just want it to be over. I just want us to know who's won. I want the ceremony to do what it's going to do. I want to see if cutting those categories improves ratings, which I'm sure it won't. And then we can just stop talking about it. That's my dream.
I mean, you've seen me like the night after an Oscar ceremony, and I'm just like, I need to go to bed. I am so tired. I'm just like emotionally drained. All I've eaten the entire day are like tortilla chips, like because I'm just sitting in front of a bowl of snacks the entire since like noon and just eating and eating and eating, and then stress happens, and then I'm like, I need to go to bed. But we usually have to record a Two Gay Matts.
I know
something in that time.
Also, if you're on Twitch, this Twitch stream will just start whenever the Oscars finish. So it won't be right at 6:30 because LA time it'll still be going on. But Matt Steele,
yes,
how are you?
I am so tired.
Are you? What happened?
Oh, well, I've been working, the production job. This past week. It was very exhausting. Only one more week to go, and then I have to like fly off to Baltimore for a wedding, and then I'm like flying back the day of the Oscars and everything. So I'm just like not looking forward to the week ahead of me because I know it's going to be so exhausting. But yeah, I am very tired. But I did have time to do some things. I finished season 1 of Big Brother Canada.
Oh, how do you feel about it?
That finale was the most wild finale on the planet. The most uncomfortable finale, more uncomfortable than Big Brother 21 USA. Just so uncomfortable because if you don't want spoilers, skip ahead. But let me just say that someone in the final jury voted for the opposite person they intended to vote for.
By accident?
By accident, yes. And it was a thing.
No.
And the person who won by one vote.
No.
I know, but honestly, the person who won was the person who I would have voted for myself.
So you weren't too upset.
So like that person and I both benefited from the situation. But yeah, it was just very uncomfortable.
Sounds intense.
It was very fun. And I had seen it happen like when it happened like years ago in like 2013, they shared it on Twitter and I was like, this seems fake to me. But after watching the whole season, I'm like, you know what? This seems real.
Wow.
I had completely forgotten it had happened until I watched it. And I was like, oh yeah. And what else did I do? I went to Pasadena Playhouse yesterday, and my friend is like a donor at Pasadena Playhouse, and so she got like a free invite to see one of the tech rehearsals for a play called Anne starring Holland Taylor.
Wow.
So we didn't see like a run of the show, but we saw them like working the set and like making sure it like moved correctly and everything. And Holland Taylor came out and like there was a little bit of a Q&A and everything.
Oh, that's cool.
That was very fun and very nice. And yeah, I'm just, it's just been a week of exhaustion.
All right.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad you made it.
Thank you.
I think I had a similar week of exhaustion. I was on one of those loops when you sleep, and I just kept waking up at like 7 a.m. every day, which is like
every day.
Every day. Like it happened even on Saturday. I woke up like this.
Why?
And I don't know. Like sometimes I get in these bad sleep rhythms, sleep patterns, and so that was not fun. But so last night I did something that I did back way at the beginning of this podcast. You know what I did?
What?
Took a wall sleep Z. Easy.
Oh.
The Walgreens version of ZQL, I guess. So it was just like, we're sleeping tonight, girl.
Okay.
It's like, it's not up for debate. I went to bed. I slept very well. Woke up 8.5 hours later. But I still, you know that feeling when you've taken a sleeping pill when you like, I feel like I've been throughout the day just kind of like on the edge of consciousness.
Okay.
But still just very much groggy. But I was like, no, I'm getting stuff done today. I did a lot of like housework. I did my laundry. I was like, I'm not going to let this day go to waste. And so I did what I could do. But am I excited to get back into bed after this? Yes.
Yes. Good for you. You know, I am because I'm so exhausted like all day. It's just hitting me, especially because I know there's going to be an exhausting week ahead. Like whenever I'm exhausted like this, I'm always like on the brink of tears. Like even at this moment, I am
Really?
like, I could cry at the drop of a hat.
Really?
Yes.
I hope we don't talk about anything too sad on the podcast.
No, it's
because
like, don't worry. I'm not feeling sad or anything. It's just,
Okay.
I'm so tired and I'm just like, like if I could just like whimper throughout this entire podcast, it would make me feel better, but I won't because we got to give the people a show.
And I don't think people want to hear that in their ears as they're like
Yes.
going to work. So I think it's kind of you not to do that.
Thank you. But on the car ride home, I will be sitting there like, just because like that sort of like feeling makes your body feel better.
I get it.
You know,
I get it.
As I learned in voice and speech class when I got my BFA.
Oh, BFA.
In musical theater.
I didn't realize
You
that.
know, sometimes just a just makes you feel better.
Right. All right.
And people think I'm weird because I'll walk around and just go,
I mean, that's tough.
and people will be like, you sigh a lot. And I'm like,
it's
the
a
BFA.
surprising sound, and it's like louder than you think a sigh is going to be. So I realize I can see why it could take someone aback.
Yes, I am trained for the stage.
Well, yes, you're always playing to the back of the house, even on film. So should we jump into the news for idiots?
Let's go
this
in
week?
right now.
All right. So let's see. Okay, I heard a rumor that the Producers Guild Awards occurred.
Yes.
This past week.
It was yesterday.
Oh, great.
Saturday. Yes.
And were there any surprising winners?
yes.
Yes.
So we have a new Best Picture frontrunner. So now a lot of people are predicting that Coda will win Best Picture because Coda won the PGA award. It won the SAG award, so it's doing very, very well with the guilds. Today it won the Writers Guild award, but it wasn't up against because Power of the Dog I think wasn't eligible for the Writers Guild awards because the Writers Guild always has like weird eligibility requirements for the WGA awards.
Right.
But yeah, it won the PGA award. So the producers in the PGA like Coda, and that is the only other ballot in in one of the precursor awards that is preferential voting like the Oscars.
Really?
Now it's very, very strange because Coda, if it wins Best Picture at the Oscars, will be the first Best Picture winner with 3 or less nominations. It's only nominated for picture, screenplay, and supporting actor.
Okay.
The last time a movie won Best Picture with only 3 nominations was Grand Hotel, which was 1932.
Stop.
I know, like the Oscars like barely existed then. Like they did not have a program essentially. So yeah, that'll be a big thing. I think people are, the thing is it's peaking like at the right time, which is so interesting because the movie, I think it came out before, it was the first one to come out of all the nominees. I think it came out in like August. I don't know. And so it's been out for a while, but it's just really hitting its stride with publicity, with PR.
Jeez.
Apple TV is really campaigning their hearts out, and I bet Netflix is so frustrated because Netflix has
Power of the Dog on Netflix?
Power of the Dog is Netflix, and so people were like, wow, this is going to be the first time a streaming distributed film is going to win Best Picture finally, and of course it's going to be Netflix, and it's going to be The Power of the Dog, which is so interesting because like Power of the Dog, a lot of people were very anti a streaming platform winning Best Picture because they're like, well, no, but this is cinema. It should be the big screen and everything. But The Power of the Dog is so cinematic and everything. And the fact that it could possibly lose to another streaming platform for a movie that some people criticize as being slightly made for TV movie-ish is really kind of funny. I think it's better than like a made for TV,
Yes.
but you know, like it's, so I think that's very funny.
I mean, as I mentioned last week, I saw Coda. I think it is lovely. I thought it was surprising that it was in the Oscar conversation at all. No shade, honestly. I just feel like it wasn't the kind of movie that usually gets those big Oscar nominations, at least this, since I've been paying any attention to them. And the fact that it's now the front runner. is shocking to me.
This happens every like couple of years. Like voters kind of tend to be like, you know what? I just want the movie that makes me feel good, the movie that makes me cry, the movie that, you know, emotionally impacts me. You know, I mean, like Green Book won over Roma for 2018. Right. The King's Speech won over The Social Network.
What an awful movie.
The King's Speech is lovely.
I hate The King's Speech.
Oh, The King's Speech is very good.
It is so boring. Nothing happens. And it's like, and then he did it.
I mean, it's
like, boo.
I mean, it's no The Social Network.
Oh, yes. The Social Network was amazing.
Yeah, The Social Network is, yeah. But I know I like The King's. I think King's Speech was like my second or third favorite movie of those nominees. But yeah, so film Twitter is very exhausted. They're just like, wait.
Which award show did Jane Campion, who we just shouted out and were so excited about last week, get on stage and like make weird comparisons to Venus and Serena just because they were sitting in front? Was that the Directors Guild Awards?
That was the Critics' Choice Awards.
Critics' Choice Awards.
Yeah.
So if you could explain what happened, I'm sure you know better than me. Like she gets on stage and what does she just like talking off the cuff, and this is why she says what she says?
I mean, it's very off the cuff, and I imagine she will not be as off the cuff for any more of her speeches.
She should not be.
So she went up there, she won Best Director. Everyone was very excited, and I guess she sees Venus and Serena in front of her, and she says, because they're there for King Richard, because they produced it, and she was like, oh, Venus and Serena, you girls are wonders, but you haven't had to like play against or deal with the men like I've had to. And so like the people in the room were kind of just like, oh, you know, but then people thought about it and they were like, I have questions. It was a very interestingly worded phrase that was off the cuff and everything.
Poorly worded, horribly worded.
Yeah, very
it's just like
not
you
well
know
worded.
Who hasn't dealt with misogyny their entire careers? Venus and Serena Williams.
I understand the point that she was trying to make. However, it's like I think the joke could have used some editing.
Just don't go on stage and just ad-lib, ma'am. Like we were so rooting for you from what you said on the red carpet, which apparently she had said previously in other outlets. So she had practiced that material. Let's not do off the cuff, Jane. Like I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you, and this is what you give us. Hated it. Hated it. Like, girl, shut up.
And you know, she apologized right away. She was like, "Oh, I'm sorry for my, you know, thoughtless comments. I would never want to diminish the accomplishments of Venus and Serena Williams because you can't diminish the accomplishments of them. They're like objectively like two of the most amazing athletes who have ever lived." And so yeah, it was not a great moment, but. You know,
hated it. Hated it. You're being very nice. I hated it. It was awful.
You know, I'm just like, you know, she apologized. I imagine she understands, you know.
Yes.
So
sure. Okay. We were talking about this beforehand, but if you just are getting here, Rachel Ziegler has confirmed that she was not invited to the Oscars. Someone wrote on her Instagram and was like, can't wait to see what you'll be wearing on Oscar night. And she responded, I don't know, y'all have tried it all, but it doesn't seem to be happening. I will root for West Side Story from my couch and be proud of the work we so tirelessly did 3 years ago. I hope some last minute miracle occurs and I can celebrate our film in person. But hey, that's how it goes sometimes, I guess. Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, wait, she's like the lead of this movie nominated for Best Picture and she's not invited?
That's really disappointing and upsetting. I mean, I imagine a lot of it has to do with COVID protocol. I think like only 2/3 of capacity for the theater are invited this year, which is a lot more than last year. Right. But like last year, I think it was just nominees and their +1s allowed. But this year there are going to be fewer people, but the people who decide who comes essentially, who gets a ticket essentially are the production companies. So instead of like blaming the Oscars, people are kind of like, oh no, we should be talking to 20th Century Films, which is owned by Disney, because they are the ones who sort of finagle like, oh, these leads are going, these actors are going like this, blah 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 blah. They sort of finagle things with like +1s.
You don't think Ansel Elgort is going, do you?
I don't know.
That would be crazy because he's obviously embroiled in all of this drama and he has not been a part of the press tour at all because of all of the accusations against him, and having him there and not her would be such a bad look, whoever is making these decisions.
Yeah, it would be very, very weird. But the thing is, like Disney, since Disney owns 20th Century Films, they can like determine who from West Side Story goes to the Oscars, I would imagine they would want Rachel to be there because Rachel is going to be their Snow White.
Absolutely.
So you would imagine Disney would be like, no, let's get her there so she can be on people's radars more. But hey, she did the smart thing and posted it on Twitter and Instagram so the public can be like, this is unfair.
I mean,
and hey,
Maybe it'll work.
Pressure sometimes works, guys.
It really does.
It certainly hasn't been working for getting those 8 categories.
And then I also
live.
read something that isn't We Don't Talk About Bruno going to be performed as well as Dos Oruguitas from Encanto, even though We Don't Talk About Bruno was not nominated because it wasn't submitted. But like, how did the people in the 8 categories beforehand who got completely cut feel about another musical performance from a song that's not even nominated? How must they feel?
I truly don't know how they feel. Like, I feel so bad. And
that's
I mean,
awful.
like the whole industry is like very mad about it. But those producers and like, I guess ABC, I don't know who, is just like, they're really sticking to their guns with this, and it's just like, Jesus God. The annoying thing is, though, ratings are going to be up from last year because last year the ratings were so low because COVID. People didn't see the movies. Like, ratings for everything, they were low, very low last year.
Totally.
And so they're going to be up this year at least a little bit, and so they'll probably be like, the ratings were up though.
Hey, and but did you see Jessica Chastain's like, I'm not going to walk the red carpet if it means I'm going to miss it was the hair and makeup categories?
Yeah, well, she'll probably walk the red carpet, but just like early, and she probably won't do as much press.
Good for her.
I know, because she said, because the makeup, she was so close with the makeup team because they really like helped that performance so much because they made her look so good as Tammy Faye.
And you'd say she's the front runner at this
I would say
moment,
she's
right?
the front runner now. And so she's like, no, like I'm going to support the team that supported my performance and supported my movie because she was a producer of the movie. And Jessica Chastain's so great. I feel like she's always on the right side of things.
I know. Like, I feel like if she's doing it, we all should be doing it.
Yeah, she should write Jane Campion's speeches.
Oh, anyone else should write those goddamn speeches because that was so bad. This is unrelated, but Maury got canceled.
I know. I just saw that.
31 years on air.
I just saw that it was ending after 31 years. I didn't know that it got canceled. I just assumed he was like, I am tired.
Canceled. And I guess people aren't watching it. And it's one of those things where like, of course, I'm not watching Maury. Like, I am not going to sit down and watch an episode of Maury, but I liked knowing it was there. I liked knowing it was on. It just made me feel like, this one thing that we've always had is still a tentpole in someone's life out there, even if it's not mine.
Yeah.
And I will never forget, I believe there was an episode where someone was afraid of balloons and then someone's coming out with the balloons and like they run in the back and not to make fun of anyone's fears, it was very funny.
Oh, I kind of,
like stuff like that sticks with you.
The height of daytime talk shows, that was just the best time to be alive. Like, because the topics were just out of this world, including I am afraid of balloons. Let's bring on a bunch of balloons.
Iconic.
It's very sad. I mean, it's the fact that it has lasted this long. It has outsurvived everything. It's outsurvived. Jerry Springer's not on. Like the Ricky Lake, Sally Jesse Raphael, Jenny Jones.
Ricky Lake was my girl too.
Oh, Sally was my girl. But they were all my girls, honestly. But yeah, Maury like outsurvived all of them, and it's like good for her. And I mean, even something as recently as the Lil Nas X Maury show.
That was very.
Did you watch that whole thing?
I did. It was crazy.
It was so good.
He's so funny. I think he's back on social media this week.
I saw that.
He was off for like 4 months and said something like, "Oh, none of you ever heard of maternity break?" And I was like, "Okay, that's funny." He's just a funny guy.
He was out there showing his new abs and showing his new song.
Oh my God! And then speaking of daytime, Wendy Williams has called into, I believe, Good Morning America and spoke out about the ending of her show. And she is saying that she is going to be back and that the end of her show is not the end of her career on daytime television. She says, give me about 3 months. There are private things that I have to deal with. Then I'll be ready to come back and be free and ready to do my thing. I listened to the whole interview and she kind of was trying to explain without like going into too much detail about the Wells Fargo of it all. Like she, for a moment there, didn't have access to her funds.
What?
Yes. And there was a rumor that some people, I don't know, in her camp or involved with Wells Fargo were trying to get a conservatorship for her. Like, they are saying she is mentally unwell. She sounded very lucid on the phone. There was obviously no video, but she sounded more together than I was expecting. I didn't know what to expect. And I just don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to believe. I don't know what's going on. I hope everyone is okay and healthy and happy. But she sounded more confident and together than I was initially expecting her to sound in her first show ending interview.
Jeez.
But man, oh man. People, I mean, I feel like the whole conservatorship thing is going to be going down post Britney. Like, you're not going to be able to do that to women in positions of power anymore. After there's just been too many eyes, and everyone knows that it's such a problem now. You know what I mean? Like, I think Amanda Bynes has filed to get out of her conservatorship. So I don't know. I wish the best for Wendy. Yeah. She's said some mean stuff, but she's good at her job.
Who hasn't said mean things?
I'm always nice.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
just kindness personified, as they say. And Charlie XCX, I got to talk about it because the people were excited. She released her album Crash, which I have not yet listened to. I don't believe you've listened to it either. But she got critical acclaim. I believe she got an 8 on Pitchfork, which we don't trust Pitchfork and the white men there. But basically, if you go on Metacritic, it has a Metascore of 81. They're saying it's amazing. And I'm just like, from the outside looking in, those Charlie stans were talking so much shit about her initial singles, like Baby and I believe the song Beg For You with Rina Sawayama. I feel like I just was seeing a lot of anti-Charlie stuff until the full album came out. And then they're like, Charlie Queen, we always believed in you. And it's like,
did you
always believe in her?
Evidence proves otherwise.
I mean,
I haven't heard any of the singles. Do you like them?
I've only heard the Beg For You with Rina is great. But I've only heard Baby once, and it was cute. I'm curious. I'm interested in listening to the album. I think that's a possible 2Gay Matt's topic. If we put out a reaction review of Charlie's album, y'all better watch it because people, say they want us to listen to more Charlie, and we just might.
I mean, the Charlie stans go hard.
They do.
So, and they're kind of aggressive. Like when we put out that review of her one album, which was a patron request video. Yeah. They were just angry. Like, what do you mean you haven't heard any of her other albums? It's like you clearly know nothing about her. And it's guys,
we're doing our best.
We're learning.
We can't be experts on everyone, all right? Mariah and Carol, respectively, take up a lot of our brain power. I always think about how much of my brain space is taken up by lyrics of songs.
Oh,
it's got to be a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. It's just something that keeps me up at night.
If lyrics are gonna take over your brain, it might as well be Mariah lyrics.
I mean, they are beautiful. I was listening today was the 24th anniversary of The Roof Back in Time being a single, which, by the way, the song was called The Roof when the album was released, and we're all pretending that it was always called The Roof Back in Time. It was not.
But I've never heard the phrase back in time.
If you go on Spotify now, it has been renamed The Roof Back in Time in parentheses. And I'm like, this is not canon.
That's fake news. Fake news.
I don't say that phrase, but I agree. And other things I care about, and Matt Steele doesn't care as much about.
Okay.
Vanderpump Rules, Tom and Katie, which, you watched the first season of Vanderpump Rules.
Yeah, sure.
They have announced their separation. They were together for 12 years. They were married, I believe, for 5 or 6. It seems like there was, according to Katie's podcast, which I listened to for the first time, which, by the way, I was like, you guys have about as many, she has about as many ratings as we do. And you are on a national television show, but whatever.
Oh, okay.
But I'm sure people will listen to this when it basically is this is the worst week of my life. And she talks about we just grew apart. We're still living in the same house at the moment, which I'm gotta fix that. But they want to maintain the friendship of it all. I am sad. It really did weirdly make me sad because I was like, we've watched them go through a lot of stuff and maybe it could have turned around and been okay. It was how you felt about John and Kate.
Oh, devastating.
It was just a sad moment to see.
Don't say it. I'm on the verge of tears. I just told you I'm on the verge of tears all day.
I forgot about the verge of tears. I didn't mean to.
Please do not bring up. This is very triggering. Thank you.
I don't mean for you to be
The
triggered.
John and Kate divorce ruined my life.
Hey, great episode of television though, which is also to say until this announcement and things about that happened at the reunion, I would have said, kill the show. It's over. No reason to have Vanderpump Rules on our televisions anymore. Let's just let it go.
Oh.
But if James and Raquel split up, if Lala and Randall split up, and Katie and Tom split up.
If there's a divorce happening, you're watching.
Just get those cameras up. It's just, they both need jobs. These are not people with booming careers outside of the show. So I feel like the people, myself included, want to see, not even maybe in a little bit of a voyeuristic kind of way, but this is the real life drama that makes reality shows great.
Reality TV is voyeuristic.
Yes,
that's the whole
point. But it's
point.
about the drama, and the reason Vanderpump Rules stopped working because it was we're going to play pickleball for 30 minutes. It's bitch, I don't want to see that. Mm-mm. But I would want to see them dealing with the real changes in their lives and what's going on with them because I think that is important. I think it's interesting.
Yeah, so honestly, it's what they signed up for.
It is. And I feel even if it's the last season, the next season, that would end it on an even 10 seasons of the show, which is wow, that there would have been 10. But I wouldn't be mad if it got canceled, but I think there's an argument now for it not being canceled. So we shall see. We shall see.
We'll see, and we'll pray on it.
We will. Is there any other news for idiots I didn't talk about?
I truly have no idea.
The BAFTAs were supposedly a super spreader event.
Apparently, yeah.
That sucks.
God.
That's my feelings on super spreader events. That sucks.
I'm so worried about the Oscars. I hope all the nominees can go. I hope no one. I hope there's, there are no nominees that test positive and not be able to go to the Oscars. That's really upsetting.
That would be bad. Oh, and also there are going to be 2 bachelorettes. For some reason, The Bachelor finished this season. Clayton was a disaster. He was horrible. He ended up with the girl he wanted, but was so horrible. Like dumped the two other finalists at the same time in the same room.
Oh.
Horrible. But those two dumpies are now going to be the Bachelorettes. It starts in June or July or something. So I'm excited about that. But I think that's about it. Should we take a little break?
Let's take a break.
Right.
I'm fried. I need a breather.
We're going to take a little break and be back with more Two Gay Mats, the podcast.
We are now going on to Email My Heart. This is the section of the podcast where we answer any questions that you guys might have. You can be a part of Email My Heart if you email us at twogaymats@gmail.com, two spelled TWO, or you can comment if you are watching this on YouTube. Ask us a question there. So first question comes to us from Haley. Haley says, email my heart, live music. Hey boys, I recently found your podcast off of TikTok and fell in love while listening. I was wondering, she found us on TikTok.
I literally, when I read that, I was like, fuck, I have to make more TikToks, huh?
We are so young and cool. Yes. I was wondering, since we are approaching summertime and more live music, what is your favorite artist / band that you have seen live? Mine is definitely Lizzo. Are there any artists or albums that you are looking forward to seeing live? Thanks so much. Love you both.
I mean, for me, it's obviously Beyonce. Like Mariah, I love in general. I love hearing her. I love being there. But like when we're talking about who's putting on a show, my biggest regrets in life are there are Beyonce tours I did not go to. Like, because every time I see like clips of the Formation World Tour or just like the tours I didn't make it to, I'm like, why wasn't I there? I needed to be there.
I think I'm like very sad that I have never seen
You've never seen Beyonce?
I've never seen her.
It's an out-of-body experience, like what she does on stage, her ability, like honestly, her breath control, which is like a boring thing to be impressed by, but she's like doing backflips, the stage is swallowing her whole, and she's still perfectly on pitch. And it's not like she's lipping. She's probably doing a little bit of mixing and something, but like she's really singing up there.
She is a wonder. Like I don't know how she does it. I mean, you see the Lemonade or the Beachella. What's it called again?
I mean, yeah, the Coachella performance.
The Coachella performance. Yes. Yeah. But what's the documentary called? Homecoming.
Yes.
And you see her going through all of that and like giving the notes and everything and how hard she had to work to get her body back in shape after giving birth to twins.
And that's also
and
the thing.
God,
is she's always making every performance, every concert a unique experience. It's not just like, okay, we did Crazy in Love like this, let's throw it back in, I'll do the same choreo. She's like, no, I'll find a different song to mix with Crazy in Love just because we want to make this specific. We want the entire show to have its own theme, its own lane. It's just, unbelievable.
The attention to detail is just like what I strive for so much. And just her frustration with like not like that attention to detail, like not coming to fruition as soon as she would like.
Right.
I'm just like, I empathize. I hear you, like, because when you have that vision, you're just like, I want it. Best person I've ever seen live, picture it. Princeton, New Jersey, 2004.
Oh, gosh.
Teenage Matt Steele.
All right.
In the theater with a bunch of other very, very older people.
Matt Steele, very older people.
Matt Steele and his brother next to him in 2004 seeing Carol Channing live. Just her and a piano. And she... at one point, dragged her husband out, and it was amazing.
I'm trying to remember. Did I know you'd seen Carol Channing live? I don't know that I did.
I've told you how I've seen her live at the McCarter Theater in 2004.
How was she?
The greatest performer who's ever lived. That's how she was. She literally just sat there. I don't even know if the concert had a timeline, if there was a schedule, if there was a syllabus, but whatever you would call it, because she just sat there and stood there and like went and told her jokes, told her stories. So many of the stories, we were all just like, wait, what is she talking about? But they were just so brilliantly told. It was like, who cares? Her comedic timing is so good. It was, the audience was rolling in the aisles the entire time.
Wow.
She was just so with it. And the amazing thing was like her stories, would go in and out, and like she, had trouble staying on topic because she rambled. Like,
is that where you got? I was gonna say, is that where you got it from?
Absolutely, that's where I got it. It's like her soul went into mine at that concert, and that is why I am like I am today.
It's all coming together for me.
But whenever she would perform like a song, or she performed the monologue before the parade passes by from Hello Dolly, on it, like knew every word, every emotional beat crystal clear. It was just like ingrained in her body. And then she would go off the cuff again, and you'd be like, oh, okay. It was just the best night ever.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love that you saw her.
Oh my God.
Good for you.
She was amazing.
Good for you.
All right. The next question comes to us from Austin.
Hey, Austin. Austin Marlowe?
Austin, yeah.
Hey, Austin. We're talking to you now.
We're talking to him on Twitch. Austin says, podcast question or topic.
Yes.
Hello, your favorite Austin from Philadelphia here. Ooh, do you say Wooder as well, Austin? Let me know. I wanted to ask what your thoughts on the rise of copyright laws against mainly pop songs. Ever since the lawsuits against Dark Horse and Uptown Funk, any song with a slight similarity seems to end up in court. Including this week's 2 lawsuits against Dua Lipa's Levitating.
Yeah.
Let me know what you both think. Katie actually just won her appeal for her aforementioned lawsuits, so perhaps things are shifting. P.S. Shortbread cookies are excellent.
Yes, tell them, Austin. I'm glad we're never going to not be talking about shortbread cookies here. But I am actually completely with you. I believe it started when Robin Thicke lost that Blurred Lines lawsuit to Marvin Gaye's estate. And this is from an interview or like something where it was talking about how Blurred Lines was just inspired by a Marvin Gaye song, even though there were not sonically, to me, enough similarities to make like this lawsuit makes sense. But since they won, it's such a get rich quick scheme for people who are like going at just like wanting to go after people and like take money out of their pockets. And sometimes obviously these things are very real, like whatever that No Scrubs thing, Ed Sheeran, he and Candy worked it out, everybody's happy. But sometimes it's just like you're just trying to make something out of nothing. And I feel like this has happened all the time. Like Mariah writes in her book how she got sued for Hero and all this stuff. Like it's something that is common practice in the music industry, but I feel like it's gone to another level of like ridiculous. And I just feel like people don't understand that like you can't copyright a chord progression. There's so many chord progressions are the exact same. There's like 8 chord progressions that pop songs have.
Yeah.
And like it's like, oh well, it has the same vibe, the same spirit. Like these are not things, if it's not the melody and like or a lyrics, you can't say this is the same. Everyone's inspired by everything. I just feel like people take it too far with that kind of stuff. It really bugs me.
And it's gotten to the point where didn't Olivia Rodrigo, like 2 of her songs on Sour,
Yes.
she just like automatically put these
Yes.
songwriters on as
Included,
Included,
we
like-
love her, including Taylor Swift.
including Taylor Swift for One Step Forward.
No,
3 Steps Back.
no. That was a sample that they planned on when they wrote the song.
Oh.
This is for Deja Vu.
Oh, Deja Vu, the bridge in Deja Vu. That's
They're
right.
like,
That's what it was.
There's yelling in the background, which Olivia on record, I guess you just can never say what you're inspired by. On record was like, oh, this is inspired by Cruel Summer by Taylor. And then Taylor's suddenly on the people who wrote the song. It just is like, but when you were in the studio with Cruel Summer, you were inspired by someone. You just were savvy enough to know not to tell anybody.
Yeah.
It just is like.
Everything is inspired by something.
I know. It's just how it's just how the world works.
Yeah.
It bugs me. This whole thing bugs me.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So Matt Steele.
Yes.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
What has been giving you moments, darling? What is it? Why are you looking at me? Guys, he just showed me a picture of the couch. The couch is here.
Should I start singing Alanis' The Couch right now?
This is like, I literally gasped. Like that was, I can't believe
Should we show the people?
Here.
It'll be blurry.
Well, okay, I'll put up in the video on YouTube, I'll put up a screenshot of the couch.
Okay.
I cannot believe it's here.
The couch is here.
Tell
guys.
everyone. We need every detail.
Guys, the couch is here.
Wild.
That's all I have to say. No. So yeah, no, I got like a call on Thursday morning.
This is like winning the lottery.
Just saying the couch is in town. It's at the storage facility. Schedule a time or a date when you can pick it up or whatever. I canceled my chiropractor appointment for Saturday because I was like, the couch is coming. It has to come on Saturday. And so they said they were going to arrive like between 11 and 1, and they arrived at like 10:45. They were on it, and I was like, good.
Wow.
Thank you for arriving 15 minutes early because I've been waiting almost 6 months for this couch. So they came in. And it emerged from the box. The 2 lovely gentlemen who put it all together for me. It was just such a wonderful moment. I tipped them well. I gave them both glasses of water to drink.
So nice.
I was like, refresh yourselves, fellas.
So hospitable.
Because you are doing such wonderful things for me.
I had to ask for water when I went to your place last, just so we're all clear.
Oh, well. Hey, I had to ask for water when I came here to record the podcast.
Hey.
However many weeks ago.
Well, you got it, didn't you?
Well, and you've also never put together a couch for me. But but I mean, put together, they literally just like put the legs on it and left. But it is such a beautiful shade of teal. It goes so well with the decor. I look at it and I'm just like, God damn it. What a visionary I am. Call me the next Beyonce with Homecoming, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's not.
I was just like, yes, I decorated the whole apartment around this couch that was not there in front of me.
It was the centerpiece.
And I made it work. God damn it. Ladies and gentlemen.
Shit.
And I look at the couch. I told you that my friend, when he was hanging up all of my stuff on the walls, he was like, oh, this looks like Barbie's dream house or whatever. And it doesn't look like Barbie's dream house, but I will say with the couch in there, I'm like, you know what? There are a lot of pastels. It is the pastel capital of the world in my living room, guys.
How does it feel? Does it feel good when you...
it's really firm. So like I can't wait to take a nap on it because I love a firm mattress.
Okay.
But I'm afraid to take a nap on it because like I don't want to drool on it. No. It's my couch. I waited forever for this.
We've all waited forever for this. People wait lifetimes for moments like this.
Yes, the chair, the accent chair has not arrived.
Right.
I did send a very assertive email today, being like, "Hi, you said that the." Accent chair would be delivered to my apartment on or around March 15th. It is now March 20th.
Didn't you send another aggressive email to them about the chair last time?
I wouldn't say aggressive. I would say assertive.
Assertive, excuse me.
Yes.
But this was your second assertive email about the
This was like my 7th assertive email at this point. But this was the second one that was about the chair specifically.
Okay.
This one ended with a thank you period.
Ooh. Any response?
Yes, I got a response right away, just being
did.
like, "Hi, I'm going to check on this right away."
Wow.
So thank you. But yeah, so the chair is coming, and that one's going to be delivered right to my apartment. So as opposed to the couch, which had to be delivered to a whatever, to then be delivered to whatever,
I can't believe this. I'm so glad that you didn't tell me before we did this.
I know. I was so afraid you or the Twitch people were going to ask me about this damn couch.
Someone says we must get the couch an Oscar invite. I completely agree.
Yes.
We gotta get Rachel Ziegler may not be there, but the couch fucking will.
Rachel Ziegler, if you are not invited to the Oscars, there's a spot on my couch we can watch together because I feel like the first party with the couch should have a celebrity.
I'm not a big enough celebrity for you. I feel like if we're in the room together, we should be charging a fee. This is fucking...
It's kind of true, especially because we hate each other secretly.
That's the thing. They're feuding all the time.
Yes, exactly. But we're like, we're only going to be together if we get paid.
Yes, this is all monetary.
Yeah, no, and when you came over on Thursday to record the video that we uploaded this week, you were just like, oh, any news on the couch? And I was like, no, not yet. And I'm like, oh, I'm such a good actor.
Oh, you were lying?
I was lying, bitch. I wasn't lying. I was acting.
Potato.
I was putting my BFA to use, darling.
Wow.
Yes.
I really am floored. So, I mean, I guess you did right because I am blown away. I feel like mine is barely... I should have gone first.
Yes, I know. We're ending the podcast ends now. This is the big exclamation point.
My giving you moments is good as well. Guys, I feel like you're probably hearing this everywhere you go, but it's not a joke. Turning Red is so fucking good.
It looks so cute. That trailer for it is so cute.
Adorable. It is like heartwarming. It has such an incredible message. The fact that one of the first times I heard of this movie was because some asshole white man critic was like, I like Pixar films that are like really universal. And this was like, I guess specific for like an Asian girl in Canada at this certain time of her life. But, I just couldn't relate. 2 stars. And it's like, excuse me? Have you no empathy? Have you no heart? It also reminded me of that the interview with the creator of the Netflix Babysitters Club, who's like, I feel like there's so little content made for girls that are in their tween age. It's like they want them to go from like Doc McStuffins to Euphoria, and the Babysitters Club fit right in there. And I feel like no one pays attention to it. We make a million Spider-Man movies, things that the boys are obsessed with at this age, which is fine, but there's no content for girls, or if there is, at that age, it's not taken seriously. Turning Red is so incredibly brilliant. It is so unique. It is so beautifully animated. I don't want to give away too much about the story, but obviously, like, she turns into a big red panda.
I mean, that's not giving away anything. That's
it's in the
just
trailer,
the movie.
but it's but it's still based in so much heart and so much realism, and it's all about like her relationship with her mother, and like, again, much like in Encanto, like family trauma and like how her ancestors had to keep this part of themselves in, and she is dealing with it in a different way that is just different from her mother and like different from what her mother imagined of her, but maybe that's okay. It's just,
I'm like on the verge of tears.
I feel like I forget that you're on
the way you described that was so beautiful.
Oh my gosh. Oh, and Four Town, unbelievable. There's obviously this is centered around a boy band is like the big moment. It's like a boy band called Four Town, even though there are 5 of them, which is great. And all the songs were written by Phineas and Billie Eilish, which I thought was fun.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Unbelievable. And then the main singer of the boy band is Jordan Fisher.
Oh.
So, I mean, this really isn't about Four Town, the movie, but that's just so many things about the film that I could recommend. I feel like just the relationship between this 13-year-old girl and her mother, and how it grows from being, I want to be the perfect little girl, to I am going to become my own person, even if that means there's going to be some separation because you're becoming your own person. Mm-hmm. It's just a perfect movie that everyone should see. And I feel like there's so many, I've seen so many like hand-wringing tweets and things being like, oh, periods. Yeah. I had to explain what a period was to my little boy. It's like, you hadn't told him?
Yeah, like, don't they?
Like,
yeah.
This is a natural part of life. And it's like, people think anything that is not like straight men growing up and is like, oh, this is sexual, or this is like too adult. It's like, no, it's just something that happens to people that aren't you.
It happens to literally half of the population. Actually, more than half of the population.
So why are you so upset? The thing is, it's like this like period moment. It's like, it's just there's an allusion to it. Obviously, it's a big metaphor probably for, you know, the change and maturing. But there's only like periods or like pads mentioned in a fleeting moment. It is in no way like hard to understand or like invites so many questions. It's like, I just can't say enough good things about this movie. I shouldn't be focused on the haters because they're wrong. The movie is brilliant. It is one of my favorite movies I've seen in the past year. I'm so mad it just came out. I want it to win the Best Picture on Sunday.
Oh, damn.
It is like my favorite Pixar movie since WALL-E.
Well, damn. Like,
I love it.
What I'm trying to think like what other like Pixar, like I think the other big Pixar movie of next year's Lightyear, the Buzz Lightyear movie,
which they had edited out a same-sex kiss from that movie and are re-editing it back in because of Disney's "Don't Say Gay" bill support snafu. So
cool.
There's going to be more, gay stuff on the horizon, which, it's all I want.
I also, of course, read that Babysitters Club the showrunner Babysitters Club article and everything.
It was brilliant.
And I mean, there's a reason why, like, the Babysitters Club, those books are still so popular. Like, my brother is a school librarian, and he's like, all the kids, like the girls, they love reading the Babysitters Club still. And it's just like, because like it's so hard to find stuff for like girls like that age that are just about normal girls doing a thing. And it's really and it's wonderful that this movie seems to be doing so well. People seem to be talking about it, and it looked really fun. Like the trailer was really fun. I would love to see it.
So much fun, beautifully animated. The music is great. It just has so much heart. I just can't recommend it enough. I love that film.
I will see it on my couch.
Oh my God, I saw a movie before you did.
Yeah, you only see animated movies before I do. Like it's always animated movies that you see.
I mean, for some reason, and it wasn't even Jackson. He loves the animated movie, but I was like, I keep hearing about Turning Red. I really want to see Turning Red. Can we watch Turning Red? It's like we watched it, and I was like, I'm glad this is as good as I dreamt it would be.
I know, and right now Jackson is currently watching The Power of the Dog in the other room.
Yes, in headphones.
And Matt Palmer's just like, I don't need to see it. It's fine.
Totally like what? I mean, I just am not. I'm not a Western person. I hope Benedict and...
Well, neither am I, but I did love it.
That's great. And, I wanted to be on Team Jane, but then she hates Serena and Venus, so...
She does not hate
so fuck her, too.
She does not hate Serena. Get out of here.
Well, I guess that's it from us. Is there anything else we need to tell the people before we say goodbye?
I just want to... I love you all, but I just want to go home and sit on my couch.
Are you going to cry tonight?
Yes, I will. I'm so tired. I'm exhausted, and I just have such a busy week ahead of me.
Well, I hope we'll sleep really well.
I will, maybe.
Yes.
We'll
if you
see.
need to borrow Wall Sleep Z, I got some back there.
Oh, no. I have to wake up at like 4:45 in the morning. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to. No. If I take a Wall Sleep Z, I'm going to be out and I'm going to sleep through, the job that I have to go to.
That's true. You got to do your job.
Yes.
You got to do the job. So thank you guys so much for watching and listening. I hope you've enjoyed us, and we'll be back next week right after the Oscars with a brand new 2 Gay Mats.
Bye.